house trying to figure out if the world's gonna end in dust and ash or not. I think I got a half an hour to hang out before I peace out. So if there's anybody out there in internet world and they've got some curiosities over the next half an hour, then your boy will be here and maybe we can answer some questions together. Together, dear listener. Um, because I don't think any one of us has the totality of the answers, right? But maybe we can figure it out together. Good Lord. What a world we're in right now, man. I hope you guys are staying safe. And I hope you got some good metal and some good Pantera beer with you. Because shit is just getting unbelievably crazy out there in the world, man. LeBron just got his some sort of scoring title and he's happy about it even though his team lost. Help me figure that one out, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm willing to answer all your questions at least for the next half an hour and keep you guys company in the wee morning hours. Then once that's done, I'm going to get back to my reading because I've been reading some pretty fascinating stuff, I got to tell you. Really fascinating stuff. So, I'll be checking out the comment section. I got a question for you. It says Rod Atkinson. What is meaning of the life? What is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? That's an interesting question. So, there's lots of ways to answer that question. And I'll answer it this way. The meaning of life and the universe and everything is to be as happy as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can with as many people as you possibly can with the greatest people as you possibly can. That's what I'd say the meaning of life is. A lot of people think the meaning of life is suffering. I do not. A lot of people believe that you have to have suffering or you have to have bad with the good, etc. You know, the yin yang principle. And even though I'm wearing a yin yang pendant, that is not because I necessarily believe in that ideology. It's because my daughter bought me one for Christmas and I had to wear it. So, ultimate complete happiness that increases in ever increasing measures forever with people that you will love in ever increasing measures forever is the ultimate meaning to life, in my view. Tony the Lone Rider. What's up, Tony? What's up, Tony? Yeah, I think the meaning of life is what you make of it today. As long as you're investing whatever you're making, that you're investing in tomorrow, because we've got to deal with the fact that there is a future out there, right? So yeah, as long as you keep those in tension, then I think you're in good shape. Now, obviously, as a Christian, I believe that being on God's team is the means by which you accomplish that meaningful life. So that's obviously in the backdrop. The general meaning of life is to simply exist. Not sure that that's true because there are rocks in the Andromeda galaxy floating around, and I think from most of our view, they're not very significant or meaningful just by basically existing. Of course, when you think about the concept, even of the concept of meaning of life, you immediately are assuming purpose, and when you assume purpose, you assume a purposer, right? I don't see how, if we're all just collections of random space dust that just came about as a sort of ex machina, just randomly happened for no reason. I don't think that there would even be a desire within us to have meaning, even if you say that meaning is subjective, and you say that that meaning is, made up, and it's something that you're doing because you want to add meaning to your own life. My question would be, if we originated from chaos and randomness, why is meaning so important to us in the first place? Where did we get the concept of meaning and purpose from in the first place, when the origin of the universe, according to that view, is completely randomized and you're not here for any particular serious reason? What's good, XBM? Yeah, I don't think that simply existing is enough. Yeah, I think we gotta push for something else. Look, if simply existing was enough, then things like art, metal, the Super Bowl, our channel, all those kinds of things are inexplicable. I think if simply existing was enough, we'd have a hard time explaining Kirk Hammett's solo on Fade to Black. I think. I think our desire for meaning is actually an indication that we have ultimate meaning. Um, it would be like saying, let's say there was some alternate universe without math, and everybody in that alternate universe had this deep desire for math and made it up. That that's almost impossible, right? So like if math didn't exist in a particular form of a universe, um, then there would be nobody going after math trying to figure out math, because it's completely outside of the realm of that universe. Uh, if there are multiverses, that means that there are concepts, there are physical realities, there are maybe different entire tables of logic, etc., that exist that we will not know about until we get there. So it's like you can't miss something that was never there, right? So why all of a sudden do we miss out on meaning in a meaningless universe? Why do we need meaning and purpose in a meaningless and purposeless universe? You can't miss out on something that you never had. Do you like Mexico? Yes, I do like Mexico. Shout out to Tasco. Funny you say that, because I'm currently watching Numbers, which is a show where they use math to catch the bad guys. Yeah. Yeah, it just so happens that we were able to discover math in our universe, and math, which is an exercise that carries mentation. It just so happens that math um, gets us the things that we need in a precise way, and math just so makes it so in this universe that not only does it get us precise locations and things of that nature, but math also gets us to a situation where we can consistently repeat over and over again good eventualities, like farming or throwing a touchdown pass or whatever. So, very fascinating stuff. Good morning, Vincenzo. What's up, Cassia Campbell? Good to see you. Have you seen Euphoria? Pretty deep, heavy content. Yeah, I've heard about it. I've heard it's I think it's Zendaya is the girl's name. She's trying to like come of age and stuff in the world, and I heard it's some pretty interesting stuff. Sori and I like to wait till things are like bingeable, where we can just watch the entire thing the whole way through. But I think she's on season 2 right now. I'm not sure. The desire you speak of comes from the depth of the human mind and soul. To figure out why we need meaning, there should be a thing that can watch the mind from outside of the mind's perspective. Well, Zarko, I agree. I agree. So, again, if the sky is completely empty, what is that aspect of our being that is able to observe the mind as it's thinking? What is that aspect within us? People call it the ego sometimes, and what is the aspect within the human being that allows it so that we can watch ourselves think, because that is a pretty complex operation. What do you know or think about Turkey? I know a couple things about Turkey. I don't have a very big opinion on them either way. I think they showed incredible restraint a couple years ago. Um, and that's as much as I'll say about that. When will a Cradle of Filth funeral Carpe Diem reaction channel? Yeah, I got to talk about that tomorrow. We got somebody. We're employing somebody to chop up our videos, and I'm surprised that one hasn't come out yet. To be honest with you. Have you been playing any good computer games recently? I've been playing. There's this thing called Eve Online where you're like a spaceship guy, but I'm not. I'm not fighting anybody. I'm just exploring at this point. Inshallah. Ben, if you haven't yet, you should check out the song From Ruin We Rise by Shadow of Intent. The song is about the suffering of the people in Ukraine. Great song. Yeah, we just reviewed a band. I think it's called Ignia. And it's also about Ukraine, but it's got some pretty aggressive words against Russia, which I thought was brave. But I don't truly know the situation over there, so I'm out of the game. So I don't know, but yeah, I bet those are some very proud people that are basically, from all intents and purposes, it looks like they're not gonna back down. So holy shit. Do you think you can be more equally yoked with a non-Christian than a Christian? Like, wouldn't Christian Vin be more yoked with a loving atheist, Sori, over Christian Vin and an unloving Christian? It's a very fascinating question. I'd still probably say I would marry the unloving, not very Christ-like Sori. I mean, that's such a complex question, because you might say to yourself, okay, Sori is playing like she's a Christian, but she's really not, so marrying her would already be unequally yoked in the first place. Whereas the nice atheist person, I could say, well, the nice atheist person is stunting like they're an atheist, but they're really a Christian. Or you could say, yeah, but they're going to become a Christian. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'll have to think about that some more. That's a crazy dilemma. How do you think the Ukraine situation will play out? I think the Ukrainians are gonna. I think they're gonna win this stare down. I really do. I really do. I think the Ukrainians are gonna win this stare down with Russia. If you ever take up Guild Wars 2, let me know. Good. I will. For sure, for sure. And that perspective should be something that is on a higher level of existence, bro. EVE Online is a massive game, and from what I've heard, you can make actual money about it. Yeah, you can. I don't think I'm going to. I'm just kind of like exploring right now, which is a pretty cool feeling. But yeah, people do like live off making money on that game, for sure. Is anyone else's audio really quiet? I've got mine turned up all the way. Let me see. I feel like we're kind of reaching a point where Russia has basically got to invade at this point. I mean, it'd be a humiliation on their part if they didn't. Yeah, that's one of the problems with doing all that saber rattling, man. It's like you get pushed to a point where now you got to do a bunch of dumb shit just to justify yourself. Like I was low key terrified. I mean, I didn't really project it to anybody, but I was terrified when Trump told those Iranians after we killed Soleimani. Trump said, if you guys, hurt any of my troops, I'm gonna destroy your, that's landmarks or whatever. And I was like, oh my god. You know what I'm saying? Like, ugh. Like, Trump is the kind of guy where if Putin had done something to us. I mean, if the Iranians had done something to us, I don't doubt that he would have done that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a crazy situation. What's up, Ed Death Fan? You're probably just used to Vin yelling at the mic. Yeah, 15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes. Yeah, I mean, Zarko, and again, I'm not here to diss Trump, but that post, in my opinion, is what brought down that Russian. I mean that airliner. Remember when the shortly after that the Iranians shot down their own plane. So really tragic situation, but what can you do? They've literally disrupted everything. Countries across the world has sent troops to Eastern Europe. They've evacuated people from Ukraine. They forced some airlines to stop flights, etc. Yikes. Hello, Vin. Just want to say I really love your content. Been on the channel for like 3 years. Greetings from Mexico. Well, long live Mexico. I really appreciate it. Perk in the house. Perk, bro. I read your little thingamajiggy to Soraya. We were both like, boop. Especially the Galilee portion of it was pretty ridiculous. That was pretty crazy. I've got a screenplay for that in my head, but right now we don't have the capital to make that happen. But yeah, unfreaking believable. Unbelievable. I'm just wondering when this shit will go down here in Serbia. Hopefully never, bro. Or hopefully never in your lifetime. Hopefully your kids and their kids will have it all figured out by then, inshallah. What's up, Use of Death? Apparently, the Great Reset requires the destruction of the USA by nuclear conflagration. I don't really feel like the USA is going anywhere. I think we're going to be around for a while because of our technology. Do you think we're in the end times or getting close? James, no. I believe that we are still in the very, 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 very early stages of church history, especially as it regards the human family, for sure. Paul has led you astray and he hijacked Christ's message, and I've been trying to tell you for years. How has Paul led me astray? I don't remember seeing you for years. If I ignored you, I apologize. But a lot of people reach out to me, and a lot of people talk to us, so on and offline. So I apologize, but I don't remember seeing you, my brother. How do you do? How do you do? Doing pretty good. 27,000 Russian hypersonic nuke attack. They'll first strike. I mean, it wouldn't be surprised me if they just struck. It really would not. Ukraine, like Russia, putting bases in Mexico and arming the locals right on our border. I don't blame Russia here. Not looking good. So the Ukrainians are putting bases in Mexico and arming the locals. I see what he's saying. Paul, the great preacher of all time, hijack Christ's message? Nah. A sure way to find a modern day heretic is how they view the Apostle Paul. I agree 1,000,000%, for sure. For sure. I have an idea for solving wars. I'd like to hear it. Paul hijacked Christ's message. Christianity is of Satan. Okay, well, 55 Porter. Maybe you can ask me a question or inform me as to what parts of the Christian gospel message are Pauline and what parts are Christological. Because I probably don't agree with you. Russia isn't that stupid. They're doing another smaller nations on their borders that don't have nuclear capabilities and aren't part of NATO. So the West can't be involved. Yeah. I just think Western countries are gonna say, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna get involved anyway. I just, ugh. By the way, completely unrelated note and completely shows how shallow Americans are. But did you guys hear about that autopsy for bad Bob Saget? Like he's got like, um, the doctors are questioning whether or not that's a you know. Oh, he kind of barely bruised his head and then he went to bed and then he never woke up. That's kind of that's what we're told. But now it's starting to look weird. Now it's starting to look weird. Hey y'all, should check out "Father You're Not a Father" by Immolation. It would be a great act. I think it's actually on one of the lists. I think I'm not sure. Just round up all those shitheads who are warmongering. Give them sticks and put them against each other so they can work out their problem. That's raw, bro. That's raw. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I asked you years ago to review a book that proves Christianity is a trap of the false reality. I don't doubt that you did, my brother. I'm a very busy man, so there's that. The Jewish grandchildren of Soviet Russian leadership of the 1920s now control the USA. They will engineer the fall of Christian America. If a group of folks can get together just by themselves and cause the downfall of Christianity in America, I would blame the church in America. I wouldn't blame the other group. So there's that. Ben Webb in the house. Christian America is a myth. Our founding fathers were of mixed faith. I agree. I think everybody has to agree with that. Would you ever celebrate Beltane with a pagan, despite you being Christian? Well, it depends on what Beltane is and what you do there. If it's anything like Midsummer, anything like those rituals in Midsummer's, hell no. But if they're not like those and they're relatively harmless, then I may. It depends. Depends on how out I am as a Christian to this person. Beltane, I don't know what that is. So Russia tried to join NATO on a couple occasions, even as USSR, but it would give Russia too much influence, so it was rejected. Okay, too much influence in Europe or the world. Look at all the names controlling the COVID agenda. Run the labs, COVID policy, your economy, debt, usury, weapons and virus, factories, etc., etc. You're going to have a very, very hard sell to me to prove that the Jews orchestrated. Let me get this straight. A Jew went to China with the coronavirus that he himself orchestrated. I don't know, bro. That sounds pretty crazy to me. Not saying you're crazy. I'm just saying I have a hard time believing that. Paul is keeping you trapped here. How about you pull a verse from Paul where he mentions Christology or Christ, and then we can go at it. If war in the Ukraine pops off, China will probably take Taiwan. Could spiral out of control quick. Yeah, I agree with that. This to me looks like a build-up. I don't believe anything Putin has to say, but it looks like a build-up. And it's one of those things where we're gonna sit back and watch. We're not gonna get involved at all. I don't know. Beltane is a fire festival that celebrates the coming of slumber. It celebrates spring and fertility. Well, I don't know how you could be against that. Seems like a pretty fun thing to do to me. If war in Ukraine pops off, China will probably take Taiwan, which could spiral out of control quick. Well, hopefully, people on our side understand that principle and so would hold back on a war with China. Saw inflation hit 7.5 crazy. How are low wage earners supposed to get ahead? I have no idea. There's supposed to be another Biden check coming. I have no idea. Biden is obviously going to be a one-term president. I think the Republicans. I think there's going to be an absolute and total bloodbath um, for the Democratic Party in America come midterms because bad situation. Bad situation. Hi from Russia. It's sad what's going on in our country. Putin loses his influence and they want to get it back at any cost. Yeah, I don't think that Putin's in a good situation or in the situation that he wants to be. Not at all. How about the destruction of culture by Hollywood and music production? They're already cleaned out the USA finances for 100 years. War is coming. I don't really see how those two connect. Um, I think I think our culture is culturally responsible for the erosion of our culture, and you would not get the type of craziness out of Hollywood that we're seeing if there wasn't a culture of allowance or an assumption that they were going to be saying this stuff in the midst of a culture of allowance. So I think you got to blame our culture first. There's none in the Democratic Party that even stands out as a potentially presidential candidate. Maybe like AOC. I can't see Hillary running again, but maybe Bernie. I can't see either. Well, I mean, if Hillary ran with Bernie, I think that you would get some traction. People are talking about Obama running, Michelle Obama. Um, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Agree or disagree with the statement that white people don't have cultural Vin and Sori? Don't have cultural what? I'm generally going to disagree with the statement that starts off with white people X. I think as far as like a characteristic or an action, I think everybody, is different. Try to look at everybody as differently as possible just because, aside from the obvious, I think you miss out on a bunch of really important concepts or abilities or likabilities with a person because you're so busy lumping them up into a giant group. Well, I think America is pretty low itself on its own culture, right? Like we've got hamburgers, we've got pizza. Those things are part of American culture, but they're not, if that makes any sense. Um, so what can you really do with that? I'm saying that if some way Russia versus Ukraine turns into a war between NATO and non-NATO countries, that maybe I'd actually support the non-NATO countries. Why would you support the non-NATO countries? That's what I don't understand about you, Ben. 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. Michelle has said she has no interest in running. She feels she can do more good as a private citizen. Yeah, man, I get it, but I just don't see the problem with the Democrats. In 2022, I don't. Who's the anointed one? Who's the next one? Who's gonna take up the Obama mantle? Because, like I said, all things being equal, it appears to me that in the next midterm, there's gonna be a massacre. A massacre. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, new corn requiem record. Yeah, Bengals 100%. Bengals 100%. There's no way. There's no way Patriots are winning that. I'm sorry, the Rams are winning that game. Going to the Bengals. Where were you born, Cassia? Y'all saw Israel Adesanya defend Joe Rogan? Shout out to Israel Adesanya. How would Tulsi fare in 2024 if she ran as a Democrat? There is nothing in the way that the DNC operates or the Democratic National Convention operates that has given me definitive proof that they would allow her to get elected. I don't think the DNC would allow her to get elected. And the other thing I don't think they would allow is, yeah, if she did get elected, I'd be very, very surprised if she survived her inauguration. All right, you beautiful people. I got to get out of here. It was good to see you guys. I shall return. And I think we've got that ghost review coming up pretty soon. So there you are, dear listener. Vin out.